Much like Captain Churchill, the Hydra rocket pods has a unique projectile where it will do its pierce and then explode after its pierce is used. So you can use this to take out groups of balloons pretty well, but on its own it's not very effective. However, when you give it a ton of pierce buffs, the projectile initially will use more pierce and then it will explode to even more fragments which do more pierce, so you can get a lot more damage and destroy things pretty quickly in theory. So let's try this out in practice on a game of chimps. We're going to be getting Striker Jones and a Lord of Abyss down at the bottom, and in the range of all of those we can fit a lot of Hydra rocket pods in and get them to do a lot more pierce as a group altogether. You might have noticed that in that one test, obviously it does more damage because there's like so much of support put on it. But the support that I put on there will be able to affect all the Hydra rocket pods in range, besides the Alp, which will affect 3 of them, which is still a lot, so you won't need many of those. So let's just go right into this. I'm going to be starting off going for a pretty simple airburst early game. I'm really just relying on the clutch of it because the airburst is so useful and you can really push things very far and easily from it. And then I will be going straight into the Hydra rocket pods as early as possible. They're going to be very strong in the early game, so let's just go right into those, and the rest of this early game will be pretty easy. Same with the mid game, a really straightforward, not too hard run. There's nothing like technical or complicated that I have to pull off, so even though that it could be difficult in terms of like RNG in the late game, the earlier rounds that don't really need to be pushed for anything and have no technicalities aren't going to be difficult at all. Now I do, however, play this early game pretty bad, and I for some reason bought an Alk cross path which allowed me to not get Hydra rocket pods super early, and this made me spend an extra $1,000 on that sub upgrade that I technically would not have needed. I was too lazy to go back and do the early game though, because sometimes this early game, and depending on my mood, could be just too much to not warrant me wanting to do it again. So I just pushed on with this. That's technically only like $1,000 lost, so nothing too crazy. You just could keep that in mind. And now it's time to move on to our villages. I'm gonna be going for a triple discount. The space is gonna be kind of limited and scattered, but I will be able to get them in, and a decent amount of them will get at least 2, maybe even 3 discounts. And that Lord of the Abyss is going to be sitting down there. I chose Muddy because it's going to be a great map for the Hydra rocket pods. However, when it comes to the utilization of Striker Jones, not so much. He'll still be able to do a lot because his concussive shell will be coming in clutch in the late game, but the Lord of the Abyss unfortunately won't really be doing much. On an easier map, that would have like space where you can use Lord of the Abyss as cleanup, that would obviously do much, but Lord of the Abyss sadly isn't going to be getting much use. So I'll discuss about like the effectiveness of that in terms of the whole strategy later, but I'm able to very easily get up a bunch of these Hydro Rocket pods, and the Pierce buffs will be coming in a little bit later, but right now with the mass amount of them, they're able to just destroy all of these mid-game rounds. These single target fortified Moabs are a little bit tricky though, but those will be taken care of when we get the Alk buffs up and the other Pierce buffs, which will allow me to do a lot more explosions, which can in turn do some more single target damage than you could expect. Going into the late game, the last thing to buy is the Moab Eliminator. I will be needing something to basically take out round 100. It will be doing some single target damage, but that's relying on having multiple things there, so stuff like fortified ZOMGs will be very tricky if I didn't have that Moab Eliminator and round 100, of course. But regular ZOMGs with concussive shells can actually go down a lot easier than you might think. I ended up having to get this foam and Moab glue for the DDT rounds. Not the greatest against DDTs, I'm going to be honest, just because they move too fast and they end up not being spaced. But stuff like round 98 with the ZOMGs, on the other hand, go down very, very well. Like 99, you can see, that's not 99, that's 91, just absolutely got destroyed. Round 98 too will be like that. It will be very easy and all. So basically this does have a big weakness to DDTs. It doesn't really have a weakness to like 97 and 100 if you get Moab Eliminator, but Moab Eliminator itself is not very good against DDTs either, so that will be a little bit of an issue. With Striker Jones, it might be able to do a little bit though, at least. But this is where I'm starting to get a pretty good amount of cash spare flowing in, so that's nice. 99 though, when I get everything lined up very well, because I have a very good line there, that just got smoked with. So if you could get that Moab glue and kind of bunch things up a little bit more, you can see it can do a lot more damage than if things are spaced out. That's kind of like the big time weakness. And on this map, for this run specifically, I think it would be a lot more effective to go for something like CTA and maybe cut an Alchemist than go for Lord of the Abyss, because Lord of the Abyss, honestly, it just isn't really doing much of anything here. It's cool interaction, giving more Pierce, but CTA would give more Pierce and more attack speed. It's still a very expensive tower though, so actually probably not, maybe-ish, I don't know. However, I ended up having to get a few upgrades just to get by, and my cash spare kind of went down a little bit to the point where I'm now only surviving with 31,000 going into 100. I'm able to take this out though by using this cool trick with the Moab Eliminator. I just move all these guys away so that the Moab Eliminator can one-shot both of the ZOMGs, concussive shell it, and get it at the last moment possible, which is really nice. But 33,000 cash spare, nothing crazy. It's not super effective, but it's not terrible, I'd say. It's a pretty cool and interesting combination to try out, but you aren't going to be getting some revolutionary cash spare runs by using something like this. And if you're interested, I have a pretty cool guitar cover right here. It is Thank You for the Venom by MCR, so enjoy it.
You